Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to episode 17 of The Home Front. Today we are going to talk about if you're buying a home, what are the top questions you should be thinking about? So I'll give everyone a few minutes to jump on and we will get started. We do this pretty much every day. I give you guys a little bit of information about the real estate market and some of the things that you can use to help you with the process. Either if you're buying, if you're selling, renting, investing, just want to help you get more prepared for the process. Usually I do my shows during the week in the evening, and then on Saturdays I do it at 10 o'clock. So welcome to episode 17. Thank you for joining me. Please hit that like button or the love button if you like something you've heard. Also, feel free, please share the stream. Make sure that your friends are able to see it and if they may benefit from it, or tag a friend. Today we're going to talk about what are the questions you should be asking as a home buyer. So the first thing I would encourage you if you're buying a home to do is step back and ask yourself what features are most important. You're going to be pre-approved for a certain amount of money, and you probably have a list of 5,000 things you would like to buy in your house, but unfortunately, unless you have an unlimited budget, you are not going to be able to get everything. So I highly encourage home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, to sit down and make a list of the most important things and then a list of the nice-to-haves. So we kind of have a starting point because that's important when you're getting ready to go out. I also encourage people that I'm working with to go out and go to home open houses so you can see what's going to be in your price range, what houses look like in the where you're thinking about you want to buy. That kind of helps you get a jump start if you're not ready right that moment, but it kind of gives you an idea without going to 5,000 different houses that you think you might have seen online and you liked, but when you get to the house, you're kind of disappointed. It does happen. Pictures oftentimes don't reflect the reality of the houses that we go out and see. So I always encourage people to do some research in advance. If you have a neighborhood that you really like, or an area that you're particular to, or a type of home, just kind of start doing your research in advance. It really helps to get you ready for everything because this can be quite an overwhelming process. So once you've narrowed down your list of must-haves and would be nice to, then we can actually start looking. And when we actually go out and you kind of narrow down the houses that you like and you decide, hey, I want to write a contract on the property, you'll ask certain questions like the age of the roof. This can be a major repair expense. They said the average cost of an asphalt roof is about $7,600. So that's one of the major repairs. You want to make sure that it's not something you have to do when you first move in, or at least if you love the house, you're prepared to do so. The second thing that I would recommend asking or finding out, which as a realtor, I would help you through this process, is how old is your HVAC system and what's been the service routine on it. That's something that's very costly, and you definitely want to find out what the condition of it is. This would be something that we would approach really during the home inspection, something that you need to pay attention to. I recommend having your HVAC system serviced at least twice a year. Typically that will make sure you don't have any backups in the system and get a flood in your home years to come, maybe not even that far down the road. That could happen if it's not serviced regularly within a year or two. The third question is, has the home ever had any pest infestations? I wouldn't say this is a deal breaker, but it's definitely something that you want to know, and it's definitely something that can be prevented. So you want to make sure you know what you're walking into. And then another question I would say, number 4, is to know if there's any warranties. A lot of times you can purchase a warranty as a homeowner or a home buyer, or the seller can purchase it for you and it will cover you for the first year. And you can actually pick it up and continue it years to come. You can pay for it in advance or you can pay a monthly payment. But it definitely helps to reduce your maintenance costs on your systems. And if you're proactive with your systems, your major systems in the house, that will help them, they'll live longer. The life of them, the shelf life is a lot longer if you keep things maintained than if you just ignore them until they break. Some of the disclosures I always encourage home buyers to ask questions. This beautiful home might sit on a beautiful lot, but you don't know what the neighborhood's like, if they're in a neighborhood or if it's on a major busy road, and that's a problem for you. So I encourage people to go back to the house at different times of the day before they make a decision. You want to find out if it's in a good neighborhood. That's up to you to decide. You have to do your diligence on the sex offender registry, the crime, the condition of the neighbor's property, things like that. Those are all things that the home buyer is supposed to do the research on. We as agents are not allowed to give you any of that information. It's subjective, and you have to do your research on your own with that. We're not allowed to disclose anything that may, or we're not supposed to, or we don't have to, I'm sorry. We don't have to disclose anything that may stigmatize the property. There are 3 categories that agents do not have to disclose if we know it. One is that if a person lived on the property that had HIV in the past. 2 is if a homicide, suicide, or felony occurred in the home. And 3 is anything that may stigmatize the property. You can ask those questions, but they're not legal disclosures. So I highly recommend always, always, always doing your due diligence. Do your research. Find out about the neighborhood that you're purchasing in. You don't want to find something out later like there's an airport that's near and there's a lot of noise and it bothers you, or there's a train that goes by at 5 o'clock every day and sounds the horn and it is tremendously annoying to you. You definitely need to make sure you're doing your research. Please feel free to say something, ask questions. Please, again, hit that like or love button, or even the mad face if I say something that makes you mad. That's what this is for. I do this to help you guys get informed and educated about real estate, and I want to help you in any way I can. So please feel free to engage with this, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you out. You can reach out to me on Facebook or social media. I'm on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all the social mediums, and you can call me on my cell or talk via text 571-436-5104. Again, thanks for joining me today, and I do this every day except Sunday. Bring a little bit of information about real estate just in hopes that it will help you all and you can get the information you may be looking for, because a lot of people do start out looking online. They want to get their questions answered, and this is a great way for you to do that without actually getting the process started. You're kind of doing, this is how you do your research in advance. So I hope this was beneficial, and thanks again for joining me.